Hey guys, Daisy May here, and I have to say I love Twitter. It's amazing how people can always find something to complain about on there constantly, especially about us artists. They really seem to have it out for us, especially when we draw something relatively sexy. Like, for example, a while back, an artist by the name of Pablo Romero made a redesign of Captain Marvel's outfit that was a lot sexier than her normal suit. And the people on Twitter, they didn't really like that too much, so he started getting waves of harassment. Mostly just like calling him sexist, like how dare he just sexualize Captain Marvel in any way. It's not like Captain Marvel hasn't been drawn sexy before. Let's take a look at some of these tweets here. I'm sure they're very informative.
Some people really shouldn't be allowed to draw women.
The colors are pretty, but the redesign is sexist. Dude, just draw her like a normal human being. It's not that hard.
She's right. This is a waste of talent. Yes, he has talent. Does this mean he uses it right? Nope. Sexualizing women is bad. Our current Captain Marvel is awesome, and I would not want to see her leave for that. This drawing literally took her organs out. How does she breathe? Informative. It got pretty ridiculous, and this isn't the first time people like this went after artists who dared to draw women, quote-unquote, the wrong way. There's been plenty of art that has been bashed over a couple years now, I think, and most of it is just like a different way of illustrating the character. For example, Rey from Star Wars, she was drawn in a sexy manner, and then people got mad at that. I find it very hypocritical when people preach that we should have more body positivity and we shouldn't be afraid of our own body types. We should love all body types or whatever. But the minute that someone makes a sexy character in art, or there's a sexy anime character or anything, people go ballistic over it, and it's just the irony is just wonderful. I also find the argument that women with that sort of body type that is depicted in the images that we've seen so far doesn't exist is really dumb to me, because a lot of women with those body types do actually exist. Also, it's not sexist if a certain body part is exaggerated a little bit in a drawing. It's a freaking drawing. Not everything has to be photorealistic, you know? I especially don't like it when people take characters or other people's artwork and remake aspect of the piece, whether it's recoloring a character's skin tone or adjusting the proportions of the piece, or anything of that nature, because it isn't diverse enough for them. How entitled do people have to be to go and do this sort of thing? It's honestly laughable at this point. If you wanted to redesign a character, that's fine, but don't say this is the version they should be in. This is the version they must be in at all times. Just no exceptions. It's ridiculous. I remember one situation back in 2019 when Persona 5 The Royal was just being announced, and they announced a brand new character coming to the game, and she was wearing more of a gymnast kind of like costume, because her story was that she was an acrobatic and a gymnast and stuff, so she would need room in her costume to move around and be quite agile. But people didn't like that on Twitter, because they were like, oh, this is extremely sexist. So what they did, well, what one of them did actually, was make an edit of the character's outfit to where it was more restricted and there wasn't anything like any skin showing. It was a completely restrictive costume. And it's not only that, just people were so angry at the fact that, oh crap, well, she's showing her legs. It makes me uncomfortable. Oh my god. And it was just so ridiculous. The amount of stupidity here, especially since her costume makes sense. It's like, wow, you're getting so upset over nothing. It's really dumb. Also, if you want to talk about characters or people being over-sexualized, then how about instead of just mentioning like, oh, it's sexist because the women is sexualized, how about you look at the men too? I don't know how many pinups I've seen of popular male characters or just sexy art of male characters in general. And the funny thing is, people never seem to bring that up whenever the over-sexualization is brought into the argument. They usually just focus on the woman. Oh, the woman is over-sexualized all the time. But they never mention, oh yeah, but the male is also over-sexualized. It's not just for the male gaze or whatever. It goes both ways. Both genders have their share of being over-sexualized. It's not even like a problem with any of these people that a guy gets over-sexualized. And honestly, it shouldn't be either way. Pinups and NSFW content isn't inherently bad. It's only there for entertainment and sexual enjoyment. Nothing else. If someone likes to draw that sort of stuff, then they shouldn't be shamed for it. And that brings me to my next point. There's been more outrage recently throwing out another artist named Sakami-chan. She's a popular artist that draws mostly video game and anime art. About a year ago, she posted a tutorial for her Patreon supporters that shows you how to make curvy body types and exaggerated body pinup. Knowing how Twitter seems to get hurt easily by this stuff, she started getting crap for it.
These are all the same. These are all the fucking same. I don't want anatomy advice from a person who was responsible for this. They're not even looking in the same fucking direction.
Come in. I know you'll want to share it with me. Monkey.
As a larger woman, this really sucks for a multitude of reasons. You refer to the typical skinny body as normal, and then there's barely any difference in the second and third pinup. Really disappointing you can't broaden your horizons past skinny.
Sakami-chan is a dog shit artist, so I encourage everyone shitting on her art.
The anatomy is bad, and it's covered up with fancy painting. She's been stagnating for years, and any time anyone says anything about it, horny mains come out of the woodwork and white knight her.
Exaggerated pinup, thick edition. Have you ever seen a fat person?
Is she literally out here making a tutorial telling people the right hand image is what thick it looks like and that skinny is normal? It's fatphobic and conceited as hell.
I don't want to be rude, but I really don't believe her art skill is amazing, but this is a prime example of how people don't know how to draw fat people.
Okay, wow, okay, I feel the anger from here. First of all, the fact the person who started this pulled this from a year ago just to find something to go after is very telling, and it's not a good look. And when people tried to tell them their claims were ridiculous, they started pulling the race card. Like, calm down, drink some water. You just got disproved, it's not the end of the world. Also, calling Sakami-chan fatphobic is ridiculous because she wasn't even trying to draw fat people in the first place. She was drawing women with a curvy body type, like the pear shape for example, where the hips are more defined and the upper part of the body is smaller. Also, thick doesn't necessarily mean just overweight people. The slang or meme term can range from overweight to curvy people. People need to stop being oversensitive about this kind of stuff. So what if she's trying to draw curvy body types? It's her tutorial and her art. People use her tutorials as a stepping stone to improve on their own art and apply the skills learned to create something original. Don't force someone to change how they draw for your own needs. It's a selfish thing to do. If you don't like how she draws, then why don't you pick up a paintbrush and make some of your own artwork instead of complaining? It really irks me when people go after artists for how they draw art if they aren't depicting the art in a hateful or illegal way. There shouldn't be a problem. It's fine if you want to criticize the artist in a constructive manner, but when you just like harass an artist for drawing a body type that you don't like, that's just wrong. It's selfish, and The fact that people were calling for people to go after her for drawing a body type is ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. And I give props to Sakumi-chan for completely ignoring this whole mess. I think is a very smart decision. So good on her for that. I think I've said everything that needs to be said here. There's gonna be more videos on the way. I have to thank Super Mio and Thousand Sun Sorcerer for voicing the tweets in this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave any thought below what you think about this situation. How would you approach it? So yeah. I'll talk to you guys later, and bye.